Hey everyone! Did you know some of the products we use every single day were never meant to be invented? From delicious snacks to essential in daily life devices, these accidental inventions came from lucky mistakes, chance discoveries, or downright bizarre experiments. Today, we're diving into everyday products that weren't supposed to exist, but ended up changing our lives. Let's get into it. Let's start with something delicious: potato chips. Believe it or not, this snack was actually invented by accident. The story goes back to 1853 in Saratoga Springs, New York, where a chef named George Crumb was working at a restaurant. One day, a customer kept complaining that his fries were too thick and soggy. In frustration, Crumb sliced the potatoes as thin as he could, fried them until they were crispy, and added extra salt. He thought the customer would hate them, but to his surprise, the customer loved them. Soon, Saratoga chips became a hit, and potato chips became one of the most popular snacks in the world. Fun fact: Americans eat over 1.5 billion pounds of potato chips every year. And all of it started with one chef trying to get back at a picky eater. Who knew? Up next, let's talk about an invention that revolutionized kitchens everywhere: the microwave oven. This one was actually discovered by a scientist named Percy Spencer in the 1940s. And guess what? He wasn't even trying to invent it. Spencer was working on radar technology for Raytheon when he noticed something strange. While testing a magnetron, a device that produces microwaves, he felt a warm sensation and realized the chocolate bar in his pocket had melted. Curious, he put a bag of popcorn kernels near the magnetron, and soon enough, they popped. Spencer's accidental discovery led to the first microwave oven, which became commercially available in the late 1940s. Today, we can barely imagine our kitchens without one. Fun fact: the first commercial microwave oven cost $5,000 and was nearly 6 feet tall. That's right, microwaves were huge and expensive at first. But now, thanks to a melted chocolate bar, we can heat up leftovers in seconds. This next one is probably one of the most important accidental discoveries in history: penicillin, the first antibiotic. It all started in 1928 with Dr. Alexander Fleming, a scientist in London, who returned from vacation to find a messy lab and some unexpected mold growing in one of his petri dishes. But this wasn't just any mold. Fleming noticed that the mold was killing the surrounding bacteria. Curious, he studied it further and discovered it was a strain of Penicillium, which could effectively kill harmful bacteria. This discovery led to the development of penicillin, the world's first antibiotic, which went on to save millions of lives. And to think, it all happened because of a forgotten petri dish. Fun fact: penicillin has been credited with saving over 200 million lives since its discovery. Let's move on to something you've probably used in school, work, or even just to remind yourself of a to-do list: Post-it notes. Believe it or not, these sticky notes were actually the result of a failed experiment. In the 1970s, a scientist named Dr. Spencer Silver was working at 3M, trying to develop a super strong adhesive. Instead, he accidentally created a weak adhesive that could stick and peel off easily. It didn't seem useful at the time, so it was shelved. Years later, another 3M scientist named Art Fry was struggling to keep his bookmarks in place in his church hymnal. He remembered Silver's weak adhesive and used it to create sticky bookmarks. From there, Post-it notes were born. Fun fact: The original Post-it note color was chosen because the lab next door had only yellow scrap paper available. Now, here's a childhood favorite that almost everyone's played with at some point: the Slinky. It all started in 1943 with a mechanical engineer named Richard James, who was working on springs for stabilizing naval equipment. One day, he accidentally knocked a spring off his workbench, and instead of just falling, it walked down to the floor. James saw the potential and thought kids might love it as a toy. He and his wife turned the spring into the Slinky, and it became a massive hit. Fun fact: over 300 million Slinkies have been sold since their invention. Finally, let's talk about something that everyone loves: Coca-Cola. Yes, even one of the world's most popular soft drinks was invented by accident. Back in 1886, pharmacist John Stith Pemberton was trying to create a medicine to help with headaches and fatigue. Pemberton's original formula included coca leaves and cola nuts, which gave the drink a bit of a kick. After a bit of experimenting, he ended up with a syrup that was surprisingly tasty. He mixed it with carbonated water, and voila, Coca-Cola was born. Fun fact: Coca-Cola was initially marketed as a brain tonic and sold at soda fountains. And there you have it, some of the most iconic everyday products, all born out of happy accidents. From tasty treats to life-saving discoveries, these products prove that sometimes the best ideas happen when you least expect them. Which of these accidental inventions surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed learning about these unexpected discoveries, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more curious facts.